Every love story has a price, but this one is paid in blood. The season finale of Blood of My Blood pushes Henry and Julia to their breaking point. Their love defies families, time, and destiny, but what if escaping means losing everything they've ever known? In episode 10, the line between past and future disappears. What begins as a runaway turns into something far greater, a leap through time itself. The air in the Highlands feels heavier than ever. It's the kind of silence that warns of something terrible, the moment before thunder, the breath before fate strikes. Henry stands alone near the window, his reflection trembling in the candlelight. In his hand lies a train ticket. A small piece of paper, yet it carries the weight of an impossible decision. One ticket for him. One for Julia. The numbers printed across it read 1714. He stares at it for a long time. Coincidence? Or a message from destiny itself? Elsewhere in the house, Julia carefully packs what little she can carry, a few coins, William's blanket, and a ruby pendant once owned by her mother. The same stone that Claire once spoke of. She doesn't know why she's bringing it. Maybe it's just a piece of home, or maybe something deep inside her knows she'll need it. Time feels strange tonight, the minutes stretch, then vanish. Julia keeps hearing her own heartbeat echo like footsteps behind her. For weeks, she and Henry have lived like fugitives, hiding their love from a world that won't understand. But now, there's no turning back. Tonight, they run. She looks out the window. Henry is already outside, waiting. The moonlight touches his face, and for a moment, she forgets the danger. He looks at her the way only someone who's ready to lose everything can. She joins him, holding William tight, and whispers, "It's time." They move quietly through the woods, heading toward the meeting point at Castle Leathers, the place where freedom begins. But freedom isn't easy to find when shadows follow you. Somewhere behind them, a light flickers. A rider. Then another. The sound of hooves cracks through the silence. Simon Fraser's men. Julia's breath catches. They were supposed to have hours before being discovered. She doesn't know how, but someone betrayed them. Maybe it was the woman from the tavern, the one who smiled too kindly. Or maybe fate itself has decided their love was never meant to last. Henry takes her hand. "We keep moving," he says. "Don't look back." They run until the forest thickens and the path vanishes beneath their feet. The night grows colder. The stars fade behind clouds. Somewhere in the distance, thunder rolls, or is it gunfire? Julia can't tell anymore. Her only focus is the sound of William breathing, small and steady, against her chest. Every few minutes, Henry stops to listen. The horses are still behind them. Not close enough to see, but close enough to fear. He knows they can't keep running forever. They need shelter, somewhere forgotten, somewhere the Frasers' men won't think to search. Then he remembers the bothy. An old stone house left to ruin, deep within the hills. Myrta once told him about it, a place travelers used when storms caught them in the wild. "No one goes there anymore," Myrta had said. "It's for ghosts." Perfect. Henry thinks. Tonight, they might as well be ghosts. The journey to the bothy feels endless. Every branch scratches, every shadow whispers. But just before dawn, they find it, a crooked shape against the rising mist. The door creaks when Henry pushes it open. Inside, the air smells of dust and rain. It's cold, but safe. For now. Julia sets William down beside a pile of hay. He's asleep, unaware of the fear surrounding them. Henry pulls off his coat and wraps it around her shoulders. Their eyes meet, tired, frightened, but filled with something stronger than either of them can name. "I told you I'd get us out," he says. Julia nods, though her heart knows it isn't over. "And if they find us?" Then they'll find nothing left to take. The storm outside grows louder, wind battering the old walls. For a moment, Julia swears she can hear voices in the wind, faint, ancient, calling from another time. The ruby pendant around her neck begins to feel warm. She touches it, startled. Henry doesn't notice, he's staring at the door, ready for what's coming. They both know this peace won't last. Fate is patient, but not merciful. And as the first light of morning cuts through the mist, 3 riders appear on the ridge. They've found them, the sound of hooves splits the quiet morning. Julia freezes. Henry's eyes darken, that look of a man who's been running from his own shadow. They've found them. He grabs her hand and whispers, "Take William. Head toward the stream. Don't stop for anything." Julia wants to argue, but there's no time. The forest trembles as the riders descend the hill, torches flickering like angry stars. She clutches the baby and bolts through the trees, branches slicing at her arms, mud pulling at her shoes. The wind howls as though the world itself is warning them, "Run faster." Behind her, she hears the clash of steel. Henry has turned to fight. Her heart screams to look back, but she doesn't. Not yet. She can't. Every breath is a battle, every step a prayer. When she reaches the riverbank, her strength gives way. She turns, and there he is. Henry bursts through the tree line, blood on his sleeve, eyes burning with fury. 2 riders follow close behind, shouting his name like a curse. Julia's pulse races, they're trapped. The river is deep, the current violent. Crossing it would mean death. But Henry doesn't stop. He runs straight into the water. "Henry!" Julia screams. He turns, breathless. "Trust me." The water bites like ice as she wades in. Every step feels heavier. The baby starts to cry, his voice lost in the storm. Then, suddenly, Henry slips, the current drags him under. Panic surges through Julia's veins. She lunges forward, clutching his arm, refusing to let go. Then it happens. The ruby pendant around her neck flares to life, a crimson glow so bright it turns the water to fire. The air vibrates, humming with energy. Time itself seems to twist. The river stops moving. The riders freeze mid-stride, torches frozen in air. The instant they cross, everything changes. The cold vanishes. The roaring stops. And then, silence. When Julia opens her eyes, she's lying on soft grass beneath a gray sky. The air smells of rain and smoke. Henry is beside her, his face pale but alive. William stirs in her arms, still sleeping, untouched by whatever just happened. They look around. The landscape is familiar, yet wrong. The hills are shaped the same, but there's no castle. No riders. No danger. Instead, in the distance, stands a farmhouse, small, wooden, with smoke curling gently from its chimney. Henry frowns. "Where are we?" Julia whispers, "Not when are we." They rise slowly, disoriented but safe for the first time in weeks. Every sound here feels heavier, deeper, like the world is still remembering itself. Then Julia notices the ruby pendant again. It's dim now, the glow fading, but it still hums faintly against her chest. As they begin walking toward the farmhouse, Julia feels something watching them, not hostile, just aware. The kind of presence that belongs to time itself. She glances at Henry. "Do you think this is where it ends?" He shakes his head. "No, Julia. This is where it begins." But in the distance, far behind them, something flickers in the air, a thin crack of red light, pulsing like a heartbeat. The portal hasn't closed completely. And somewhere beyond that shimmering doorway, another figure stands. Watching, the wind carries a strange stillness, as if the world itself is holding its breath. Henry and Julia move slowly through the open field toward the farmhouse. Every step feels unreal. The grass glistens with morning dew, and the air smells cleaner than any place they've ever known. Yet beneath the calm lies something ancient, watching. When they reach the door, Henry knocks. No answer. He pushes it open, the hinges creak like something waking from a long sleep. Inside, the house is empty but not abandoned. A kettle sits on the stove, still warm. A child's toy rests on the floor. Someone was here, recently. Julia looks around, heart pounding. Henry, this doesn't make sense. Whoever lives here, they just left. Henry runs a hand over the table. The wood is smooth, polished, not worn by time. He picks up a folded piece of parchment resting near the hearth. The handwriting is delicate, looping. He reads aloud. To those who crossed with love, time has chosen you. The blood remembers what the heart forgets. Julia steps closer. What does it mean? Henry doesn't answer. His hand is trembling. There's something about the ink, the way it glows faintly in the dim light, like it was written only moments ago. Before they can speak again, the floorboards creak behind them. A shadow appears in the doorway. An old woman stands there, her eyes calm but sharp as glass. She looks at Julia, then at the child in her arms. For a long moment, no one speaks. Then she says, "You made it through." Julia's voice breaks. "Who are you?" The woman smiles faintly. "Someone who once stood where you stand. The pendant led you, didn't it? The chase may be over. But the story is not.